feed by hand, and some we feed with the finger. We do the finger technique because it mimics, we do it initially when we get little finger because it mimics what the mother does in the wild. And then we just let them eat however they would like because our little penguins are quite spoiled. Now you might notice when the penguins are splashing about in the water that they might be sticking their flippers over their back. They're not doing this to show off or anything. The little penguins actually need to stay nice and waterproof and streamlined when they're going around. So they have an oil gland on their rear of their body and they're simply getting this oil and flicking it up over their body to keep themselves nice and streamlined. Their feet also, when you're on land, the reason they wiggle is because their feet are quite far back on their bodies. And when they're in the water, you might notice that they've tucked those feet away nice and far back so that they can just swish throughout the water. Little penguins can dive up to 150 times an hour for food. They usually dive between depths of 1 and 20 metres, but they can dive up to depths of 60 metres, although it's not very common. Usually little penguins fish within the first 1 to 2 metres of the water column. That's why if you're in the Shoalwater Marine Park there is signs to go slow on your boat. That's the exact reason, because you weren't wanting one of your propellers to hit one of those little penguins. Can injure them a fair bit. The little penguins have over 1,000 feathers on their coat, which is quite impressive, and it helps keep them nice and insulated in the water. They weigh roughly 1 to 1.5 kilos and are 30 to 40 centimetres in height. They are molting on the island at the moment. I don't know if you heard of the ferry over. Molting is the time of the year that they lose all their feathers. Unlike other birds, little penguins lose all their feathers in one go. So if you look around the island at the moment and you keep your eye out under the boardwalk, you might see some very fat, very fluffy penguins sitting around. Just remember, if you come across them, be nice and quiet and keep your distance and keep the flash off on your camera, because molting penguins are quite stressed out, so they do have a bit of issue with people at the moment. Also, if you see a molting penguin on the back beach, don't try to encourage it to go for a swim. We had some very helpful people the other day trying to encourage our molting penguins to go for a swim, and they do drown in the water because they're not waterproof this time of year. Before the molt, they do fatten up. One of our little penguins in here, Piggy, who is our oldest penguin, once ate 250 fish in one day before